Alright, in this video I'm going to go through the frog stretch. So first of all, I think one of the better setups to do this with is on a wooden floor, or a floor that kind of allows you to slide a bit. And then it's going to be really important that you have some kind of cushions, pillows, mats, something along those lines that you can have your knees on, that can also slide on this floor, because this is going to help you to actually go deeper into the stretch without getting the very famous cramp on the outside of the hip. So we're gonna set ourselves up with the cushions underneath the knees, between the knees and the floor, in this kind of fashion. And so the frog stretch, you can start from here. You can kind of slide out a little bit. You turn your feet out, and then you want to start with keeping a straight angle between the knees and the hips. So I often see people kind of being into this sort of position here, or they sit back quite far in this position. And I think the main reason for that is so that they actually get away from where the biggest stretch is for them. So being very far forward or being far back is not inherently the incorrect position or incorrect way of stretching. It's going to target different structures, and that can be great, but if you are using it to avoid the big stretch and the tightest structures that you have in this position, then it's not a good thing. So we're going to start with this sort of position here, where you have pretty much a straight line between the knees and the hip. From here, there is plenty of different things we can do. And so one thing is holding this position and breathing and just trying to yield. And by yielding, I mean accepting, relaxing, that type of thing. I don't want to pull into the position or anything like that. I kind of want gravity to help me get deeper into position. So I'm going to just relax. Breathe here. To get deeper into the stretch, like if you want to actually move your knees wider, I would recommend to push them out as such, rather than trying to use the outside muscles of your hips to contract and pull you deeper into it, because then it is very common that you are going to get a cramp. Another thing we can have a look at is the pelvic position. So we can work on tucking under, and we can untuck. And of course, all of these type of motions should be done very slow and controlled. Here. We can also rock back and forth. So we can go back here. That feels a bit different for me. And then I can move forward. Again, that feels quite different. And I can go sort of sit back and lean forward. And I can do that for a little bit. Another thing we can have a look at is doing contractions. And so in this position, I am stretching my adductors, or the inside of the thigh mainly. To get into a contraction of those muscles, what I can do is I can stay in the stretch. This is really important. I don't want to push myself out of the depth of the stretch that I've gotten into. So you want to stay in the stretch, but you can do a very gentle contraction of those muscles that I was talking about, so the adductors, so the inside of the thigh, by pressing the knee down and in. So it looks like this. I am contracting here now. And I can hold it for 5-10 seconds. Doesn't have to be very hard. And then I relax. Maybe I can go deeper into this position. I can also play around with a bit of rotation. So if I rotate towards my right leg, I can feel it extra in my left, on my left side. And then I can do the opposite here. Something that I didn't mention in the beginning is that I also keep the heel and the knees in line. So I'm basically in a 90-degree angle at the knee like this. Cool. Now, how do I come out of this? This is like the tricky question. So, you can obviously take quite a lot of help from the hands, and you can kind of wriggle forwards like this. Some people like to sit back. I quite like to kind of drag one knee in, then the other, and then gradually kind of come out like this.